Right now on Good Morning America First Look, a suspected tornado slamming into this TV station in the south. Flash flooding elsewhere turning deadly. A baby rescued from a stranded vehicle and a woman killed when a restaurant umbrella is sent airborne.
Breaking overnight, what Secretary of State Marco Rubio is now saying about peace talks with Iran, just hours after the U.S. carried out new attacks.
The images as a rescue team tries to free a man climbing a mountain on the west coast when he became trapped under a boulder the size of a car. And overseas, another nail-biting rescue effort trying to save people trapped inside a cave.
A suspected burglary ring now busted, accused of targeting star athletes, including Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, what they allegedly stole.
Party in the Big Apple. The Knicks making history as they advance to the NBA Finals.
Plus, the big winners and throwbacks at the American Music Awards.
We hear from this paraglider we first showed you yesterday who was hit by a plane in midair.
And later, a special treat for fans of the Muppets and Sesame Street.
From ABC News, this is Good Morning America First Look.
Good Tuesday morning, everyone. I'm Sophie Flay.
And I'm Hanna Battah. We begin with more severe weather turning deadly.
A tragic story from South Carolina. A woman was killed by an umbrella that went airborne at a restaurant. But first, a reported tornado in the Deep South hitting a TV station. Here's ABC's Lindsay Tuckman.
Overnight, new video of a suspected tornado slamming into the ABC station in Dothan, Alabama. Security cameras catching the moment one employee tried to leave the building when the glass wall started shaking before a glass pane was smashed and sucked into the storm. Several nearby homes damaged, but no injuries reported. It follows days of severe weather in the Deep South, triggering flash flooding. In Beeville, Texas, first responders racing to rescue a baby from a car stuck in raging floodwaters.
I got the baby out.
The storms turning deadly near Hattiesburg, Mississippi, where a body was found in this submerged SUV. Witnesses reportedly tried to help the driver, but the SUV flipped upside down before she could escape. Powerful winds sending this bounce house flying across a yard in Florida. And in South Carolina, a woman was killed at a restaurant after authorities say strong winds sent a patio umbrella airborne, striking her in the neck. The restaurant, which had opened just one day earlier, saying, "Our hearts are with the family, friends, and loved ones affected by the tragic incident." A similar tragedy unfolded in South Carolina back in 2022, when a woman was killed on a beach after a gust of wind sent an umbrella flying. Lifeguards warning umbrellas should be secured with heavy bases and taken down when winds pick up. Meanwhile, outside Nashville, school officials are defending their decision to hold their graduation despite the torrential rain. Some people furious, asking the school to redo the ceremony, but others embracing the downpour.
There was so much fun. The rain made it so much better.
We just honestly, and no pun intended, soaked in the moment and just saw so many of our kids graduate, and they all just had smiles on their faces.
The school superintendent says they thought the graduation would wrap up before the rain came. As for today's weather, more rain and flooding is possible from the Gulf Coast to Texas. Hannah, Sophie.
Lindsay Tuckman, thank you. Thousands of people in Orange County, California, living near a tank filled with a toxic chemical have been allowed to return home. Officials say the risk of a major explosion at this aerospace facility in Garden Grove is now off the table. They've lifted evacuation orders for 34,000 people. But 16,000 others are still not being allowed back because there's still a risk for a smaller explosion.
It's really surreal, and I feel like I want to wake up from this dream. This is just something I never even suspected could happen, so it's been really hard.
Officials say a crack in the chemical tank, which stores methyl methacrylate, lowered the pressure inside. It's still unclear what initially caused it to overheat.
Now to the war in Iran. Secretary of State Marco Rubio speaking overnight about peace talks just hours after the U.S. carried out new attacks.
This morning, despite days of reported progress towards reaching a peace deal, the Pentagon now says U.S. forces have launched new airstrikes inside Iran, describing them as self-defense strikes to protect our troops from threats posed by Iranian forces. The strikes carried out in the area of Bandar Abbas, home to Iran's main naval base, reportedly targeted missile launch sites and Iranian boats trying to lay mines off the coast. The attacks coming despite the ongoing ceasefire. President Trump marking Memorial Day, honoring the 13 service members killed in the war so far.
These incredible men and women gave their lives to ensure that the world's #1 state sponsor of terror will never have a nuclear weapon. Oh, and they won't. They will never have a nuclear weapon.
There are indications the first step of a peace deal could be getting closer. Top Iranian negotiators have arrived in Qatar for talks. And Iran has now lifted its 87-day internet blackout, which has crippled its economy. The Trump administration insists Iran's enriched uranium must be destroyed.
The president had a very important, I think, historic call just a couple days ago with a number of leaders from the region. I think there's strong alignment and agreement on what a preliminary draft should look like. It's going to take a couple days to settle on, even down to the disagreements over a word, sentence. So we'll have to work through that. It's either going to be a good deal or there isn't going to be one.
Stock futures were up overnight and oil prices were down as markets cling to optimism that a deal will be reached.
A grim assessment about the deadly Ebola outbreak growing in Central Africa. The World Health Organization says the epidemic is outpacing response efforts. The virus is suspected of killing more than 220 people in the DR Congo and has infected nearly 1,000. A local official says nearly 1 million people are displaced because of armed violence in the region, making them more vulnerable to the outbreak.
Protesters clashed with federal agents outside this immigration detention facility in New Jersey amid reports of inhumane living conditions. The governor joined protesters demanding better care for the detainees. Some people blocked cars from leaving. Others say they were pepper sprayed. Homeland Security says officers took appropriate measures to protect themselves. They also denied claims that some detainees are on a hunger strike. In Oregon, rescuers on Mount Hood worked to free a man trapped under a large boulder. They say the car-sized boulder, weighing about 16,000 pounds, had rolled downhill in a rock slide. But they were able to use special equipment to lift the boulder and free the man. He is expected to survive.
Now to a suspected burglary ring, busted after allegedly targeting several high-profile athletes, making off with millions of dollars in jewelry and other items.
This morning, 6 men allegedly connected to a series of burglaries at the homes of star athletes, including Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, are now under arrest in South America.
Over the middle, wide open, Kelce again.
Back in 2024, the Chiefs were just minutes into a game when the thieves broke into Kelce's home and stole jewelry, watches, cash, and other luxury merchandise. Hours earlier, a burglary was reported at Mahomes' home.
Bobby on the block. Spin low, pays it off.
And the following month, authorities say the same crew targeted the home of Milwaukee Bucks player Bobby Portis during a game. Taking off with $1.5 million in jewels, cash, and personal items.
I had a home invasion, and they took most of my prized possessions.
The crew allegedly used publicly released schedules and social media to figure out when the athletes would not be at home. Investigators say some of the suspects were seen in this photo with the stolen items, one wearing a Kansas City Chiefs shirt. Now, the 3 men whose faces can be seen in that photo are among the suspects taken into custody in Argentina. The break in the case coming after police made several arrests for a break-in at the home of Argentine tennis star Juan Martín del Potro. In all, the ring is now accused of stealing nearly $4 million in cash and goods.
The suspects, most of them from Chile, will now be sent back to the U.S. where they face federal charges.
Time now for your Tuesday weather.
Good morning. We're going to be tracking multiple rounds of heavy showers and thunderstorms over parts of the south during the day today. Also an elevated flash flood risk extending from New Orleans all the way to southern parts of Alabama. Another area here, a level 2 out of 4 flood risk over much of Texas. We're talking San Antonio, Austin, all the way up to Lubbock. Of course, a lot of that area is suffering from a drought still, but this is too much rain too quickly. Could cause flooding in spots. Much of the rest of the country fairly quiet, except for some showers moving into the Pacific Northwest. Meteorologist Jeff Smith, ABC News.
Coming up, Pope Leo's warning about artificial intelligence.
But first, the incredible sight, a meteor lighting up the sky over an erupting volcano.
And the urgent effort right now to save 7 people trapped deep inside a cave. We're back with the rare green fireball meteor streaking behind that erupting volcano in the Philippines. It's believed the meteor broke up before hitting the ground. Thousands had to evacuate the same area earlier this month when the volcano first erupted.
We turn now to a rescue mission deep inside a cave in Laos in Southeast Asia. Several people are trapped.
Overnight, a desperate search for 7 people trapped inside a cave in Southeast Asia for the last week. They were looking for gold in the cave when a flash flood blocked their exit. Some 100 first responders are now joining the rescue effort, navigating these narrow passages just 2 feet wide and recesses filled with muddy water. Among the rescuers, the divers who famously helped rescue children from a cave in Thailand in 2018. Back then, it took more than 2 weeks to rescue a dozen boys and their soccer coach trapped in a deep cave. Eventually, the boys had to be sedated, put in scuba gear, and taken out one by one while unconscious. The risk of failure was so high, the government gave rescuers diplomatic immunity in case something went wrong.
There's potential for them to kill themselves. There was potential for them to kill us.
That rescue spawning movies and TV shows.
The #1 diver in all the world.
This morning, rescuers in Laos could be in similar danger. They believe the 7 local villagers who got trapped are still alive because men who managed to escape earlier say there's a location deep in the cave that's above water level. But rain and low oxygen are slowing the rescuers' progress.
Locals at first hesitated to alert authorities because they were not authorized to search for gold in that cave.
A warning from Pope Leo about the dangers that artificial intelligence poses to humankind. The Pope, in a speech yesterday, appealed to tech companies to work for the common good rather than profit and power. He acknowledged AI's power to connect and educate while also calling for regulation.
I hear very troubling accounts of algorithms that can block access to health care, employment, and security on the basis of data tainted by prejudice and injustice. Artificial intelligence now demands to be disarmed, freed from logics that turn it into an instrument of domination, exclusion, and death.
Also in the room, the co-founder of the AI company Anthropic, who says he agrees with many of the Pope's concerns.
Coming up, police disguising themselves as construction workers to get you speeding on the highway.
Also ahead, we hear from the paraglider who was hit by a plane in midair. We're back with state police disguised as road construction workers while busting drivers in New York for speeding. Police say Operation Hard Hat was a success. During an 8-hour shift, they pulled over 94 drivers, mostly for driving too fast in a work zone.
Fed-up residents of a Seattle neighborhood are taking matters into their own hands to stop crime. They're barricading streets with large metal planter boxes to keep would-be gunmen from speeding through their neighborhood. The makeshift barricades are raising safety concerns because they could block ambulances or fire trucks during emergencies. But some neighbors say they're worth it because of the recent gun violence plaguing the area. Police say they're stepping up patrols.
We have an update on the dramatic video we showed you yesterday. A plane crashing into a paraglider in midair. Now that paraglider is sharing more of her story.
This morning, the paraglider who survived this terrifying midair collision is speaking out. The woman, named Sabrina, posted the video of her flying in the Austrian Alps when a small plane rams through her parachute. The canopy ripping apart. She plummets towards the ground. Moments later, she's able to pull a secondary chute and land safely, suffering only minor injuries. Police say the pilot of the plane claims he did not see her until it was too late to steer away. He landed safely, but has been charged with causing bodily injury through negligence. The experienced 44-year-old paraglider now responding to comments and criticism, saying, "I wasn't anywhere I wasn't allowed to be." As a paraglider, you cannot evade a light aircraft. And saying of the pilot who hit her, "As a powered aircraft, he is the one required to give way." She said pilots in the area should be more focused and be on the lookout for paragliders, while acknowledging paragliders can often be difficult to spot even though we are brightly colored. She says the matter will proceed quite officially and without drama through the proper legal channels.
Sabrina says she'll be investing in a device that can alert pilots to potential collisions, but she even admits that they're not 100% effective.
But hopefully it can be helpful in the future. Yeah. Coming up, a real throwback at the American Music Awards.
Plus, New York and actor Timothée Chalamet partying like it's 1999 as the Knicks try to make history. Time to check the pulse. We begin with New York, partying like it's 1999.
Yeah, the Knicks swept the Cavs last night, advancing to their first NBA Finals since 1999. They've now won 11 straight playoff games, outscoring their opponents by a record-breaking 262 points. They haven't won a title since way back in 1973, but fans are confident this time.
I witnessed 2 finals, 94 and 99. Third time's the charm. Third time's the charm. Can't wait. Can't wait. Let's go. New York, let's go, guys. Let's go.
Well, Knicks fans are hoping for a different outcome from 1999 finals. Some things may still be the same. Back then, the #1 movie at the box office was The Phantom Menace. And today, another Star Wars film, The Mandalorian and Grogu, is also #1. And Celebrity Row will likely look a lot like it did in this video from 1999 with mega fans. Ben Stiller and Spike Lee expected to be courtside once again. The Knicks will get 9 days of rest before they face the Spurs or Thunder.
In baseball, a stunning play by Colton Cowser of the Orioles for the second day in a row. He hit a walk-off home run. The Orioles beat the Rays in 13 innings.
A different baseball player is making news off the field for how he brushes his teeth.
This is wild. Bryce Harper posted this video of his morning routine where he showed him squirting toothpaste directly into his mouth instead of on the toothbrush. Fans saying maybe he's superstitious and started using that technique during a win streak. Next, the American Music Awards.
Before the actual awards, some memorable throwback performances.
You bet they do.
Pussycat Dolls rocking some red latex while performing their hit Don't Ya. It was their first appearance on the show in 20 years.
Yeah, there were also throwback performances from Hootie and the Blowfish and New Kids on the Block riding a 1972 Buick. And Billy Idol proving he can still rock at 70 years old with a medley of his hits. As for the night's big awards, Song of the Year went to Huntrix for Golden. K-pop sensation BTS was named Artist of the Year. And Best New Artist Award went to Cat's Eye. Next, legendary puppet master Jim Henson's New York studio is offering tours for the very first time.
Fans can get up close and personal with beloved characters from Sesame Street and The Dark Crystal, and they can meet the amazing craftspeople who make the puppets. Tours cost $150. And finally, something new from under the sea.
A new octopus. Scientists say it's no bigger than a golf ball, and its color is to help protect it from predators.
It was found in the Pacific nearly 6,000 feet down. Pretty cool. Top headlines next. Checking more top stories, the ABC station in Dothan, Alabama was hit by a suspected tornado overnight, caught on security video. Several homes in the area were damaged. Elsewhere, a woman was killed in a flash flood in southern Mississippi.
Russia is urging foreign nationals to leave Ukraine's capital city. It's threatening to launch new strikes after unleashing the largest attacks on the city since the war began.
The U.S. carried out new attacks on Iran described as self-defense strikes to protect American troops. Meanwhile, top Iranian negotiators have arrived in Qatar for peace talks, a sign of possible progress.
A major health headline: an experimental gene editing drug is proven to be effective in fighting bad cholesterol. Eli Lilly says tests show Verve 102 lowered LDL cholesterol by more than 60% in early trials.
Today's weather: more rain across the southeast with possible flooding along the Gulf Coast and strong storms in Texas. Summer-like heat in the Midwest.
And finally, the cheesiest story of the year.
Here's Danny New.
On Monday, travelers from all over the world once again tumbled down a famous British hill in the name of cheese. Doesn't that look fun? For the record, this once-a-year tradition goes back hundreds of years, with people gathering at notoriously steep Cooper's Hill in Gloucestershire to compete for a wheel of double Gloucester cheese. But did they have a guy in a Spider-Man costume 200 years ago, or a man in that? Actually, the biggest difference this time was probably the weather. With temperatures around 95 degrees Fahrenheit, this year's race happened to fall on the hottest May day on record in UK history.
Any injuries? I'm perfectly fine. I'm just very hot in this suit.
Well, the extra insulation did not stop German YouTuber Tom Capt from winning for the third straight year. You can see him come from behind here to defeat Cooper's Hill legend Chris Anderson, who has a Guinness World Record 23 cheese wheel wins.
I just remember seeing Chris Anderson in front of me. I was like, I need to go faster, and then I sent it the rest of the hill down.
Meanwhile, in the women's races, we saw a wide range of protective gear, from this woman who appears to be wearing bubble wrap to this contestant who wore a leaf on her head. However, the craftiest idea may have come from the winner, whom you see here rolling down the hill in a mouse onesie.
Celebrate, yes, lovely.
Alex from France told the BBC afterward that she actually was wearing elbow and knee pads underneath her chosen uniform.
By the way, guys, the 23-time champ Chris Anderson, who lost, still a successful day for him because his 11-year-old son William actually won the first ever kids race, which for the record was an uphill race. Thank God.
Good thing.
Runs in the family. That's your Good Morning America First Look.
Have a great day, everyone.